installment of recent acquisitions. Uh, Thanks for hanging in there if you've watched all 4 of these videos. After the first one, we sort of titled them as to what they are, so if you weren't interested, you didn't have to sort of follow along. But I know some of you guys are very loyal and have watched all the much time that this took. You've now wasted probably 2 hours of your entire life. So kudos to you for your patience and dedication. This video is going to be dedicated to all of the Japanese domestic manufactured, so to speak, kits that we picked up. Both they are Japanese kits in their origin, and they also represent Japanese automobiles. Before we go into this one, I just want to throw a few things out there. First of all, it's good to see Hunter Selby is back. He's posted some videos here recently after a little time away to let the furor die down over him. Hopefully now everyone can start acting like grown people and instead of small children and bickering with each other, and we can all just build models and move along with our lives. Be interested to see if from his perspective, he apologized to people who he may or may not have offended, and let's see if that'll just sort of wipe the slate and we can all move forward, or if this is going to explode again in 6 months. The second thing would, of course, be to Gil and everybody over Star and Syndicate. We don't really feature their logo anymore because we changed the intro to the videos. I need to get their new logo, actually, to put into the videos. And they did, of course, their 48-hour build marathon where they live streamed the entire thing in like 8 chunks of 8 hours. Kudos to everybody who actually seemed to have almost stayed up the entire 2-day weekend from 5 p.m. Friday to 5 p.m. today. This Sunday as I'm recording this. I'm not sure when it'll be actually up online, but this is Sunday night for me. Yeah, so for all those people that actually completed their builds, good job, and we will look forward to distributing your kits to all of ourselves when you die in a fiery automobile accident on the way to work because you got no sleep. No ill will meant, but guys, some of you really, I've seen some pictures of some people. You look like you need a nap. So, again, kudos out to the people that actually try to pull the whole 48-hour shift. If you're hearing auditory hallucinations, you still need more sleep. Anyway, that all being said, let's pitch the camera over that way, and we will plow through this, and we'll get back to some regular content on this channel rather than just look at all the stuff I have that you don't. So, back in a sec. Alright, guys, so we're going to cover a few eBay acquisitions up first here before we get into the Hobby Link Japan box. For people who don't know, and you don't really need to sit here and start telling me about it, my birthday was the middle of July, or actually just the beginning of July. So, if you missed it, I don't want to hear about it now. This isn't the point of this video. But all of this stuff sort of is a culmination of my usual birthday binge where I buy myself some stuff because, I am plunging ever closer to 40, and, I don't get presents anymore. So, to keep with my childhood, I buy myself stuff. This right here is the Tamiya Nissan 300ZX convertible. This is one of those kits that was around and around and around, and you could find them everywhere. It tripped over them, and nobody could sell them, and all that sort of stuff. And then they evaporated. And then when they started showing up again, they were very, 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 very expensive. And so I was really, really thrilled, I must say, to find this kit just lying about eBay one day on a, every day, or, well, not every day, but, most days if I'm thinking about it, I'll toss my phone's eBay app into, ending soonest and just take a stroll through what's going to end that day and see if there's anything interesting. And this happened to be one of those kits where that worked out well, because I managed to pick this up for, I want to say it was about $15, and this is usually a $50 plus kit otherwise. This is from 1993. It's an original issue. The reason why these kits have become so expensive is that they have not reissued the convertible version. The regular 300ZX is in the catalog all the time. You can pick one up at Hobby Link Japan or Hobby Search or probably your local hobby shop, because it's one of those Tamiya kits that, again, has been around for forever, considering 1993 was 23 years ago, rather. But look, like I said, just one of those kits I've been looking for. I missed it when it was, around and popular, and then when I went to sort of try to track it down, so to speak, it had gone by the wayside. You get your typical Tamiya box here with your line drawings. This was a 1,500 yen kit back in 1993, which meant that using today's exchange rate is $15. So I pay what it was, what it cost back in the day. There was a price tag, but it's not on here anymore, so I don't know exactly what the the original price of this was as far as what this guy paid for, but it's all there. It's still sealed. The big detractions about this was the fact that like the box is bent and stuff like that, but the kit is fine, and who cares about the box? I'm not a box collector. I know there are some people who do that, and that's not a knock on you if you do. It's just not my thing. Let's see, from more stuff from Plaza Japan. I can't remember if in the race car video I told you what I paid for that Zent SC, but it was like 13 bucks. Every so often, Plaza Japan, Tokyo Hobbies will actually auction stuff. If you go to their webpage, 95% of what they do is buy it now stuff, and it's all reasonably priced, at least the new stuff is. It's a few dollars more expensive than Hobbylink Japan in most cases, but you're not really dealing with the fluctuation of the yen because all their prices are in US, or in US dollars, at least in the listings. So this is a dealer options version of the Lexus LS 600 HL from 2008. I have the original 2008 kit. I really wanted this because it came with photo etch. You'll see here on the side there's a Fujimi photo etch fret here. If I can get it to focus. There it goes. Some license plate surrounds, a few surrounds for like the center stack, pedals and whatnot. Unfortunately, as I've got a chance to inventory this kit, it doesn't have that. It does still have the optional wheels, which is really part of the reason why I bought this. That has, let's see if I can get them sort of fall to the front here, and they're going to go behind this piece of plastic. It has these wheels in them, and that is significantly different than the actual stock wheels. So I'm happy there. They've got the 19-inch wheels. Sort of makes it a VIP car without it being a VIP car. Really wish it had the photo etch it came from, but you know what, guys? I paid an entire $4 for it, so I guess I'm not going to complain. I wish the listing had said, hey, by the way, it doesn't have the photo etch inside, but be that as it may, I'm still happy with it because it still at least has the optional wheels. Another Plaza Japan auction here. This was, I believe, $180, $260, something, some semblance of that. I think it was under $3. This is the dealer option aero exterior version of the Lexus IS 350 kit. You get actually 2 sets of wheels in this kit. These 5 spokes and the regular, or these 5 spokes are the regular wheels that are in the other kit because there's just a regular version of the kit, and then it has these optional wheels, and you get some skirting and spoilers and stuff like that to do the optional aero package, if you want to call it that. It's not really much of an aero package; it's just a ground effects ground skirt thing. And again, for the price of a couple of bucks, I just couldn't say no to it. People who know me know I have a giant collection of Toyota kits. And that just fits into the, now I'll have 2 IS 350s. Moving on to some kits that I know a lot of people are very interested in because of how rare the originals are in the rare context and the way these have appeared. What this is are Fujimi kits. There'll be 2 of these back to back here. And these are Spoon Sports Tuner Shop Honda. This is for Type R, DC2, and then there's going to be an EK9 Civic coming up in a second. These kits, they've done 2 issues of them. They did an original issue back in the day, and then they did one in 2005. So it's been a little while since the kit's been out, 11 years. I don't know if it's because of the fact that it's Spoon Sports or because of the fact that it's just a different thing than the regular Integra, but these kits really sold out pretty much, and then finding them anymore, they are really, really, really expensive. I saw a guy pay $160, paid for $160 for one of these kits, the 2005 reissue. The only thing that's really different about this kit in the sense of it being Spoon Sports is it has this lip spoiler that's different. Obviously it has different wheels, and it has a decal, a carbon fiber decal for the hood, along with the other Spoon logos and stuff like that. Other than that, it's not really all that different a kit than the actual just regular DC2 Integra Type R is. What had happened here, and we talked about it a number of times on the stash report, is the fact that this kit just randomly in June was reissued by Fujimi, but they've done a very limited, what they're calling an over-the-counter reissue of this kit. Basically, the only way you can get one of these is in Japan at Fujimi's like retail facility or through Fujimi's website. Plaza Japan has these, and I saw recently, I believe it was today, the Jet Model, which is a vendor in Thailand, has claimed that they have some in as well. The only way you can get these to vend them is if you go to Fujimi and buy them in person. So obviously the guys at Tokyo Hobbies knew these kits would sell well, and they went out and bought a case of them. They just relisted this. They sold their first case of these, relisted this now at $2 more expensive than the last case was. I don't know, maybe Plaza Japan paid for the run in the first place. I have no idea why these kits suddenly, without warning, were reissued, but everybody is very, very happy about it. These are $15.70 when I bought them. They're $17.70 now. They could probably raise the price till Christmas to $30, and people will still buy them because it's not $160. The kit itself is not really that great. If you have an Integra Type R, you know that you could make a race car out of the interior in this exceedingly easy because there's effectively no detail to it on the side panels of the door cards, as Elliot would call them from ELP modeling. But you know what? It's kind of a interesting little cool kit nonetheless. This whole spoon tie-in, bright yellow car with the carbon fiber. I know several people have bought these in the assumption that that there's only 1,000 or so of these ever run this time around, and so the value of them will quickly skyrocket again once they sell out. I'm gonna build them eventually. My thread, I build everything I buy, and I'm not buying anything to collect it necessarily. And a lot of times I'll say, well, this is an addition to my Porsche collection, or this is an addition to my Honda collection, but I don't mean it in that sense of like I'm trying to collect it. It's a collection of built things, hopefully at some point. And then the last eBay thing, which is its sister car, and here it is, the EK9 Civic, which again has the wheels and the carbon fiber decal for the hood, and there's a few other little bits and pieces for the Spoon Sports package in it, but it's otherwise the same as the EK9 Civic Type R that is currently in the Toge packaging for $5 less. Again, this is another $15.70 kit. If you want one, I suggest you go buy one. Not because I'm trying to drive the prices of mine up, because like I said, I'm not selling them. I'm going to try to build them at some point. But if you want one, they eventually are going to sell out, and then you're going to be stuck. This here, wow, camera does not like that. There we go. Is the another Mazda Roadster. This is, of course, the 2016 Mazda Roadster, the new MX-5. Not a Miata. We don't call them that anymore, but I'll call them Miata all day long because it's just so used to it here in the United States. You guys have watched this, for years now, because we really have been on the air now for years. We're in year 3 now. Know that I have one of these when they came out. This one, of course, is to build the Playmos MX-5 Club resin transkit from I just said that. That was the redundant from the redundancy department there. Wow, okay, it's getting kind of late. It's getting time for bed. I got an early morning. I should probably have not filmed this, but we're going to plunge along. This transkit from Playmos make this into the Club Sport. That was why I bought this. These two things are going to go together, because why have a $40 transkit if you don't have the $20 base kit that it goes to? This is just sort of a common Fujimi kit. I have 2 other Fujimi FD3S RX7 kits. Hobby Kitty is here. Hopefully we'll not knock down my camera, because he's got a hold of it. My. He knows I'm talking, and he wants to be let outside, so he's going to be a complete and total little pain in the butt here for the duration. But this is the Type RZ. This is one of the factory tuner, so to speak, versions of the FDS RX-7. There was a Type A, a Type B, a couple different things. Just very minor differences between the actual cars, wheels, lip spoilers, interior pieces, and stuff like that. Fujimi made pretty much all of them. If you want a factory stock FD3S RX7 with an engine, you of course need the Tamiya kit. The red Affini is a curbside, I believe, if I'm remembering right. Of course, the black one is the RX7N1, and that is the export spec. It's also the only one that has left-hand drive, and is a U.S. spec, if you will, car. Even though technically, I guess it's more of a exported around the world kind of thing rather than just being North America. So, like I said, it's another one for the pile. With everything that Fujimi makes, you can, of course, make all of them. Every single factory tuner version, if you will, that was made for the FD3S, Fujimi has made that kit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Next up on the pile here is the newest kit from Aoshima. This is the Subaru Sambar fire engine. Pretty much your Subaru Sambar kit that you're used to if you ever have one, in the sense of the cab and the dirty side of the chassis. Everything from the deck up is brand new. These parts for the light bar and whatever this is supposed to be. I don't know if that's an amber light or it's just a taxi sign. Honestly, without trying to make too much of a joke out of it, that's really, I don't know what this is supposed to be. Are from existing stock, but there are 5 brand new runners of parts in here for all of the skid steer pump, and all of this hosing and everything is very, very detailed. If you've never had one of these before, there are 144 pieces, which may be as many pieces as the real vehicle has. And of course, this, like I said, has this whole new fire apparatus built into it. If you go searching online, you can find pictures of this pretty much this same fire engine. So reference material does exist for it quite readily, which is sort of a surprising thing when you think about it. You would think, well, this is sort of a weird, wacky, one-off Japanese type of thing. Obviously, it's a very small fire apparatus designed for like dumpster fires, grass fires, stuff like that. The Sambar is a 4-wheel drive vehicle, or in the sense, it may not be a 4x4, but it is 4-wheel drive. So brush fires and that sort of things. Obviously, it's a small chemical truck. I think it's really designed to be a plant fire truck, if you will. For a manufacturing facility. Again, to kill like a dumpster fire, a very small fire, or try to get something under control prior to it getting to the point where, it's exploding everywhere. But like I said, it's a very, very cool kit in its subject matter and the fact of how well detailed it is. They really could have just mailed that in, but it's really something to see. Maybe we'll do a review of that at some point. This is just another little sort of off-the-wall Fujimi kit. This is the Suzuki Wagon R RX. Fujimi has made something like 5 different versions of this vehicle. There's literally anything you could want from a factory stock vehicle like this, all the way up to just a wild street machine-ish custom. Now, keeping in mind that it is a great big toaster on wheels. This is actually the vehicle that started the toaster on wheels revolution, if you want to call it that. This was one of the first vehicles designed in this big boxy style that became very popular because it's a small car, but with its sort of almost van proportions, it obviously carries a lot of people and cargo in a small package. Of course, the Daihatsu Move would come along after that. The Toyota, I'm trying to think of not Toyota, but a Honda Stepwagon. A number of car-based minivans would erupt from this thing. The Toyota, AA or no, the AB rather, which would be sold here as a Scion. That's a great big toaster on wheels. So this was the car in the mid '90s that started that whole boxy car craze. This is the Aoshima 2015 Lancer Evolution 10 Final Edition. Represents one of the final, represents the final version of the Lancer 10 as it was sold in Japan. This does not have left-hand drive. The only way to get a left-hand drive Lancer Evo X, of course, we talked about, is to buy the Rally Art kit, which is really annoying because there's basically 1, 2, 3 pieces that make it left-hand drive. Quite literally, the dashboard and the 2 windshield wipers are only 3 things that make this kit, one way or the other, because it's already like not so much pre-drilled, but the holes are there, flashed over to flip the thing, flip the wipers onto left-hand drive configuration. I really wish they would have thrown the left-hand parts in this, but for whatever reason they didn't. It doesn't accurately depict what we got here in the United States, as the United States actually got the last 2,500 Lancer Evo X's made in the production run period. These ones were actually made prior to the last 2,500 being made. So it's one of the final editions, but technically it's not the final edition. We got those here in the United States. It'd be fun if they would do that model kit and flip the dashboard around, but I don't think we're going to see that. And then here's some more just birthday splurging, because really there's no reason to buy these otherwise. This is the Nissan Laurel Hardtop 2000 Medalist C230. This kit is relatively new in its tooling. The chassis simplified, curbside, but it's not motorized. And so that's why I picked up a few of these kits that you're going to see here next, because they build up pretty well in the sense of just construction-wise, and they're not junky motorized kits. Now, we can have an argument about motorized kits being junky and what that means, but I'm just thinking from everything I look at from a sort of contest perspective. Not every kit I build goes into a contest. Not every kit I want to build will go into a contest. Build some stuff just for the shelf. But when you're starting off with a really, really basic motorized chassis, you're already like at a disadvantage in my mind, because the interior usually builds up like junk after that, and then you have the problems of like the BMW M3 and Mercedes E190 from Fujimi that all have like a one-size-fits-all generic chassis, which made the bodies all out of proportion. So this kit and the one that's going to follow it use the same chassis, but there are a number of parts not molded to the chassis so that you can make the chassis in the correct configuration. Here's a little picture over here of the built kit, which may or may not actually focus. There it goes. This here would be sort of the twin of the kit. It uses the same chassis. Obviously, the bodies are different, but similar enough that they can ride the same chassis plate. This, of course, being the C210 Nissan Skyline 4-door. This is a GTEL, being quite literally a base model. It's a 4-door Skyline. There aren't a whole heck of a lot of those kitted. The ones that are kitted tend to be, like I said, curbside toys, old motorized kits that have been turned into models. This rides the newer, I think these were tooled in like the mid-2000s. Rides a newer chassis that everything's separate on, and you don't have to beat anything or screw anything into anything. No motor carriers or battery boxes or anything else like that. This again will have over here a built up version of the actual car. So that's just neat. Very mundane car, but kind of neat that it's kitted. Stuff like that you just don't see U.S. manufacturers doing. U.S. manufacturers never going to like make a model kit of like a Saturn. This is the early mid-90s version of the Toyota Land Cruiser. This is a JDM only version, guys, so sorry there's no left-hand drive stuff in here. If you want a left-hand drive kit, you have to buy the Tamiya one of the HDJ, I guess it was J80 was what the chassis designation on those were. There are 2 of these kits available from Fujimi. You'll see ones that are labeled wagon, and you'll see ones that are labeled van. The difference between the 2, as far as the way they're designed to be constructed, is that the wagon has a 3rd row, and the van, when you build it, does not have the 3rd row. However, the 3rd row is still included in the kit. So basically, the 2 kits are identical. It's just how you're building the kit, whether you're building it for 7 passengers or you're building it to have a cargo area. Again, like I said, it'll build either. The parts are identical in both kits, so they both build the same way. I will say very strongly that if you want the 80 series chassis, which of course is the 1980s version of the Land Cruiser, you must go buy the Tamiya one. Tamiya. Pronouncing the name wrong. You must go buy the Tamiya one because the Fujimi one is a old motorized toy and it is really, really junky. This is a new tool in the 90s and it's all, pretty much what you'd expect out of a Fujimi curbside, but it's not motorized or anything else like that. Would have been nice if they would have made this to be the Lexus or something that at least had left-hand drive, but it's only right-hand drive. Some more Toyotas for the pile that will not be built the way they're shown on the box. This is a X30, which is a third generation Toyota Mark II Grande, four-door sedan here. This is a little too much tuner for me, or a little too much JDM for me, I guess I should say. I want to build this way more factory stock than what you're seeing here. Here's a picture of the built model kit. I have a bunch of wheels coming in next month. More than likely, I will swap wheels with something that look a little less ridiculous than this. Guys, I know this is a style. I know this is a trend, and I'm not trying to knock it. But to me personally, nothing works for me with the whole idea of mounting stretch walls on tiny, tiny little rims. I don't like that. It doesn't do anything for me, especially on these older style cars like this. I mean, I know that's a look and a style, but this is not what these cars look like originally. This car will not be built with this chin spoiler, will not be using these wheels and tires. I'll use them on something else maybe, but not this. And we'll be losing the spoiler back here to just be something a little more factory stockish. Then we have this, which is the twin. This is a X40, which is a 4th gen Toyota Chaser 4-door. You see this is sort of the same sort of shtick, if you will, the same sort of genre, where we've got the external oil cooler and this sort of bazooka style chin spoiler, ground effects. Again, we're using small tires on stretch walls, and which again doesn't do anything for me. Here's the built up version down here in the corner. And you do they're claiming you get some sort of stretch wall tire with it. I really haven't dug into this because that's not really the way it interests me. Mine, of course, will not have the external oil cooler, and we're not going to include any of these ground effects. And I do like this color scheme, this black over silver with the chrome pinstriping. So we may go with that, but we're going to do something else with these wheels and tires. There's certain things that the Longchamps look good on, and actually these aren't Longchamps, but certain things that this wheel style, which eludes my grasp right now, looks good on. I just don't think this happens to be one of them. Got two more, so we're almost done. Sticking with our Toyota theme, this of course being the Tamiya Toyota Celica GT4. This is a full detail kit, guys. For people who aren't aware, this Gen Celica, and actually this generation before it, were full detail kits. There's quite a bit of new stuff in this kit to make it the GT4. The GT4 is the rally homogenization car that had to be done so that the Toyota Celica could be in rally in the mid-90s. Unfortunately, the box caps don't show engines or anything else like that. There's a picture of the Euro spec version there on the side. I think it's a Euro spec, might be a Japanese spec, but this does come with left-hand drive and a full detail engine, the whole 9 yards. So it's a cool kit to have if you're into this genre or this model style. I think it's with the 5th gen Celica. So that's that. And then last but not least is this. This is the reissue of the 1985, aka late spec Toyota Truno 86 GT Apex. The GT Apex is a designation for this lower aerodynamic package and this little trunk spoiler, as well as these turbine style wheels, for lack of a better term. So for a chance, you can build a Truno that doesn't have Watanabes included in the kit. You get these ones instead. This does include the engine insert, so if you're looking for the engine, it's in here too. It is, however, the base engine. There are none of the various racing parts and tuner pieces. They're in the later initial D series kits, like the Volume 37 or the Project D series. So it is factory stock in that sense. It's kind of amusing. This is still a white Panda paint scheme. You know, this you know, it looks like the initial D car, right? It's a white Panda, you know, is what this black or white or black is called. It's a cool kit just in general. Because the late spec Truno hasn't been around for a while. The early spec is what you get in the initial D series kits. There are some front end differences, a couple other little very minor differences between the two, but there was a slight refresh in 1985 from the original 1983 Truno that, like I said, you get in the initial D series. So a little picture of the built up model there on the side. Always good to see, rather than just a bunch of you know, line drawings. And guys, that will be that. Thank you very much for all your patience and interest in what we do here. One thing that was thrown in one of the hobby Tokyo hobby boxes was this little Tamiya thing that is listed on the side here as being a plastic eraser. I'm assuming that you can use this to, for lack of a better term, erase acrylic paint, because obviously, you know, Tamiya paint is acrylic. I think this may come in very handy on, say, like a window mask that you botch. You know, you get a little black paint on the windshield itself, underneath a window mask. You should, you know, maybe be able to rub it off and not have to, you know, worry about it scratching the windows. That would seem to me to be the most logical use of this. Obviously, it doesn't actually erase plastic. You can't just cut a hood out by erasing the old hood off. But this is, like, I've seen it sold in the UK and a couple of vendor things for like 50 cents or half a euro, however they would term what 50 cents of a euro is. It's, you know, half pence, but that's a British pound. It's not in the Tamiya USA catalog. I can't find it in the Tamiya Japanese catalog either. I assume this is something that's still made. I don't know if it is or not, but I don't know. It's just a cool little trinket there that was, like I said, tossed in the box with the Tokyo hobby stuff, because with the Zent Lexus, the two Spoon Sport Hondas, the Lexus IS stuff, I had like 3 or 4 shipments from them in the course of about a week and a half. So I guess thanks for being a customer, I got this eraser. So we'll see if it's good for anything eventually. If you guys happen to know what it's supposed to be used for, I'd love to know if I'm being correct in my assumptions that it you know, is really designed to be used for something like that, or what. It also, you know, if you could erase over paint on like you know, a window surround, like the black surrounds on, you know, that go around the window. You know, if you actually slop this up or you slop that up, or, you know, you have paint someplace, you could just sort of erase it off rather than sanding it. I don't know. Well, you know, like I said, if anybody knows what it's for, let me know, because I'd love to know. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it, and we will be back to regular programming after all of this acquisition videos, and we'll see you guys on the other side.